Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another Q&A, and make sure to start going over onto the community tab because I will be posting Q&As over on the channel at least once a month now in order to try and make this a little bit more frequent. It's my goal to start trying to do these at least once a month and eventually get these up to bi-weekly or maybe even weekly depending on how these go. Now, this one was done a while back, have not been able to get to the Q&As on these. This one, because of how long it's been since I've done one, I'm going to be combining a couple of Patreon only Q&As. The next one I do here on the channel will be a combination of both Patreon Q&As as well as the ones over on the channel. So again, make sure to check the community tab. Long story short, I've had some personal stuff go on in my personal life I've had to attend to. I have growing family obligations that have gotten in the way. I'm still uploading a lot of content though, so there is that. I haven't missed any uploads as you guys have seen, but I do understand the Drake situation. Now, Fila says, great video, bros. You are definitely my #1 of my favorite content anime creators. I thought about why your videos are so good, and I think because your background derives from being an editor, you have a great deal of insight into how manga works in terms of plot, character development, build up, use of colors to convey themes, the way that the artist designs the panels to Greek mythology. All of those things allow you to come up with very accurate theories that are simple and straight to the point. And being a person who's not really big on reading manga, your channel has definitely made it easier to follow along with the animes and know what's going on. Keep up the great work, bro. So obviously that wasn't a question. I appreciate the praise on that, man. I strive to try and get better each day in terms of how I present things. If you go back and like watch some of the old videos, the delivery's definitely gotten better. For those of you guys who do not know, I have worked in the past as an editorial assistant. I come from a very strong literature background. One of my mentors is literally an award-winning author. She has won awards for some of the books that she's written. So that's why you'll hear me approach things from a character perspective. That's why when I'll do like the video essays and etc., like the Orochimaru one, I try to tackle things from a different perspective and not just regurgitate a lot of the stuff that you've already heard other people say. Hence, like that Orochimaru video essay approached the whole quest of immortality from the impact of how his parents' death affected Orochimaru as a character, or the Hokage legacy video essays. The same with like the video essays you see on KRYPTONIAN saying. I just try and approach things from a different manner, but like you'll hear me like say like literature lingo terms like in medias res or free and direct discourse and etc. It's just because when I read and when I talk about anything in a literature perspective, that stuff tends to come up, man. And you know, hopefully as more time goes on, more you guys will, you know, kind of pick up on a lot more of that stuff. Like I try to talk about like the mythology, etc. and Naruto, because it's such a driving factor with Naruto and so many different series, but because a lot of Western fans aren't used to it, that's how we get these stupid takes like Black Clover copied the Sharingan from Naruto, when that whole concept of the copy wheel eye and the Magatamas, etc. literally goes back to Japanese culture and history and religion. That's why you hear like the Buddhism references, etc. Same like the truth seeking orbs and all that stuff can be traced back to it. So I appreciate the support, man. I really do. Tommy Bunnybread says, do you think it was a mistake to stop making any Jinchuriki after the 4th Great Ninja War, thus causing a power imbalance between the villages? No. And the reason why is when you go back and you look at Naruto volumes 70 through 72, the big theme in those volumes was about breaking the cycle that was done before, this predetermined cycle, and coming to understanding. So when Hagoromo let the Biju out of his body, they were shown as being very small, innocent. But when we see them being used in modern day era, they're all super big, they're jaded. The Biju have been misused by humanity. In Boruto's anime, Kurama puts it simply that in episode 218, like, yeah, you know, humans only viewed us as weapons of war. Well, the whole reason why Kage was defeated and Hagoromo was brought back, the guy who is the forefather of Shinobi, and Naruto beating Sasuke, was about more than just breaking the cycle of hatred between reincarnations. It was about turning a new leaf. So in this new era, there is a demilitarization process. if you go back to making Biju get sealed inside of a body of a Jinchuriki, you're just repeating the cycle of before. Like with Killer Bee, when he cut off his tentacle, when Madara was extracting the Eight Tails, he still retained a small amount of the Eight Tails chakra, which is why he didn't die. But the Eight Tails willingly went back inside of Killer Bee's body. When you look at the Yang half of Kurama, which, reminder, Minato's half of Kurama was sealed into Naruto by Obito. The Yang half, which is the half that was put in Naruto as a baby, got extracted by Madara. That half of Kurama told Hagoromo he would go back into Naruto before Sasuke put him in a Chibaku Tensei. Kurama chose to go back into Naruto because, as Hagoromo said, it was no longer a burden to him. They were closer now. I think that's where there's a big difference. None of the other Biju wanted to go into another Jinchuriki. In fact, most of them are saying, I'm going to go live my best life. I think that if you go back to doing that, you're just repeating the cycle because it's going to be against their will. Villa says, if I said your name wrong, I apologize. Love your channel and content. I just want to ask how you keep up with it all, especially since you have multiple channels. You must definitely be a type A and have crazy organizational skills because you never miss an upload. I admire your consistency. So I'm gonna say it right now, man. Like when it comes to being consistent, I have a lunch pail mentality. You know, I've talked about it like one of the first podcasts I did over on Free Game Nino's channel before he formed the Cloud Ninja podcast, which much shouts out to them. I got to get with the Walkie Talkie podcast. I've been having some issues trying to link up with them on my end. That goes back to what we're about to get into here with your question. Make sure to subscribe to both those podcasts if you have not. Walkie Talkie podcast as well as the Cloud Ninja podcast. But my whole thing is just treat it like a lunch pail mentality. You show up to work every day, you put your nose to a grindstone, and you do what you got to do. I have multiple channels. Naruto Explained, I make sure to upload daily. I have a calendar on my desktop. I have a whole document with topics to discuss in the future. They're already written out. I have a Google Drive folder with scripts already written. It's just a matter of me recording. I just pull up my calendar, see what videos listed on the day for that day, and I go from there. The videos are planned months in advance, in particular when it comes to evergreen content. With Boruto manga discussions like where was Kurama, why Kurama wait 3 years to show himself, will Himawari leave the village, things like that. Those get determined when the chapter comes out and I've had a chance to read the chapter, and I'll just write out like topics that I want to discuss for the next few weeks. A lot of them ain't theory videos, but if you go with the thumbnail and you comment, you might think it's a theory like Boruto's broken sword. That's not a theory video, that's a character video. But I said to say this, like I'm very meticulous when it comes to that. If you go over on KRYPTONIAN SAIYAN, I've been doing like mostly manga reviews over there with evergreen sprinkled in, which for those of you guys who don't know what evergreen means, because like you're not into the creator space or anything like that, like evergreen basically means explaining how all the quirks in class 1A work, or explaining every kaiju in kaiju number 8, explaining every sign Lloyd and Yor and Love, things like that is evergreen content. I'm starting to increase the amount of evergreen content I have because I finally have an editor hired for that channel. With the Straw Hat KRYPTONIAN SAIYAN channel, I have an editor hired over there. I cannot use them yet. And that goes back to what I said in the beginning of the video. I have some family obligations that are kind of slowing me down, but I have for each channel calendars and documents that have video ideas already listed on them. So yeah, I'm very organized. Like, not to toot my own horn, but like in 2021 and 2022, I had videos that were done months in advance, and like stuff like in 2023, like why does Sasuke run out of chakra? Who is Rock Lee's mother? 2 videos I'm super proud of. Those videos were done like 4 months before you guys saw them. So I have a tendency to sit on videos before you see them, especially when I get them edited by other editors. Kakashi, copy that in one take. Chris Bell says, hope everything been okay outside of YouTube and you doing all good. Keep up the good work, brother. Been killing it like you always do, as the second half has begun with Boruto 2 Blue Vortex. Do you think we'll see information about the missing Otsutsuki, the ones that have the smashed tablets, sooner or later as the story unfolds? So yeah, man, you know, again, you know, got some family stuff going on. Can't say no Drake at this point. As far as like with the missing Otsutsuki with the stone tablets, I definitely think so, because when you look at it, you have the Taro folktales. So outside of Kaguya and Hagoromo and Hamura and Toneri, so basically the descendants of Kaguya, all of the other Otsutsuki, they're all based off of the Taro folktales, and they haven't been shown. Like you have Momoshiki is Momotaro, Kinshiki is Kintaro, Ishiki is Ishin Boshi, you have Urashiki is Urashima Taro. There are, I believe, 3 more Otsutsuki that have, or not 3 more Otsutsuki, but there are 3 more folktale characters from that collection of stories that had not been used, but given the pattern that we're going down, we're probably going to get those at some point. So Snap says, just want to ask how you doing with your family and what your thoughts are on Damon's potential battle with Boruto or Kawaki versus Boruto. So with Kawaki versus Boruto, if you get this reference, you're a real one. My man's got to do some push-ups, sit-ups, and drink plenty of juice, because right now, Kawaki stocks are in the mud. As far as with Damon's upcoming battle with Boruto, man, it's been teased, and I don't want to lose hope, but I'm losing hope. Like, I feel a zinger coming with that one, man. Like, I feel a zinger coming. I hate to even consider this, man, but if we get a Shinji version of Damon, I'm not going to be shocked, man. I think that might be how we end up getting that battle. Simply Kenobi asked, so streaming wins. So I'm gonna peel back the curtains a little bit, man. Like my partner manager, my old partner manager, since I got a new one reassigned by YouTube, he's been on me heavy to, you know, get the streaming done. Like I got somebody that can do a streaming layout for me. I got to go in and, you know, test it out to just see like how everything looks visually or whatnot. My internet connection can handle it. I'm just a little nervous. The main reason I'm nervous is, number one, I'm gonna be completely unfiltered and unscripted, and you get like a glimpse of it with these Q&As because it's stream of consciousness, and I might say whatever the hell comes to my mind, and that's not always a good thing. But yeah, I'm a little nervous, man. Like I kind of want to do it, but I also understand like with streaming, that takes a special talent, you know, like that's not as easy as like some people make it out to seem. Like I've talked to some people that have some pretty big streaming numbers over on Twitch, and same thing with YouTube. So a little nervous, but that is something I do want to try sometime in the future. Marquise Baden says, what's going on, man? What's good? How you been? Now that we know Kashin Koji is involved, dead or alive, need your thoughts on the differences, benefits, or takeaways from Jiraiya's training with Naruto and Koji's training with Boruto. I think between Sasuke and Koji, he has what he needs to at least hold Momoshiki at bay if he has not mastered his ability. So that's interesting because like Boruto, and again, you couldn't have known this just based off of when this was done, but like Boruto right now, you know, hey, looks like he's still scared to use Momoshiki's power. Like he started freaking out when his karma resonated, and Kashin Koji was like, yo, get out of there, you're gonna lose control. But you know, with training Boruto, like it's different than like with Jiraiya when he had to train Naruto. Like Jiraiya, basically, if we compare Jiraiya and Tsunade and Orochimaru with training members of Team 7, Jiraiya basically walked into a super big kitchen, and the kitchen had like a refrigerator and an oven, but there was nothing in the pantry. And it's because Naruto did not know the basics. So Jiraiya had to basically teach him the basics, which that means going in, building the pantry from scratch, and then going out to shop for all the food you put in the pantry. So that takes more time, opposed to Tsunade and Orochimaru. If Sakura and Sasuke were kitchens, Sakura's kitchen, it was a little smaller, but everything was organized and it was functional. With Sasuke's kitchen, it had everything that you wanted, state-of-the-art everything, and so they could just hit the ground running and teach their students how to cook. So that's the main difference. With Boruto is somebody that, for the most part, he knows the basics. He's got Minato's genius genetics or whatever, but Boruto did have a tendency, because he learns things so fast, he doesn't truly have a grasp on some of the basics with stuff. That's why Sasuke tells him, hey, go back and relearn the basics of lightning release. You can use all these different jutsu, but you don't have a good grasp on the basics. And when Kakashi's showing Boruto how to make a new Rasengan, he does the same thing. Hey, go back and start working on the mechanics of the Rasengan. The only difference with Boruto and Naruto is that when Boruto was told to do those things, it didn't take him too long to just go back and brush up on those basics and get the handle on them. So Black Guy says, how is life, my guy? I know bad things seem to happen to you quite frequently, but I hope the trend has subsided. Man, I have a confession. I'm black. You think? Yeah, I had to do it, man. That was like so obvious. I had to do it. That was like low-hanging fruit. I've been black since the day I was born, and I'll be black until the day that I die. But as a black